Hi guys, how you're doing today? Hope as always that you're doing fine. Let us begin with another video, and today we are going to be a very different kind of video. We are going to do a sales video. To be more specific, we are going to do a Aliexpress anniversary sales video. Aliexpress is doing 15 years and a lot of products are being heavily discounted with a lot of coupons. For example, Hifiman 400 SE is costing less than $50, which is just nuts. And the first thing is that I'm going to do a headphone list first, then an IM video, and then later an amplification videos. So stay tuned to the channel and let's begin with this. I am going to use USA prices and coupons, but you should look for your specific country coupons, and this is just to give a general idea to everyone. I will start with Hifiman 400 SE, which makes a lot of sense, and this guy is being heavily discounted in the Hifiman official store. A lot of Hifiman's headphones are being heavily discounted in this promotion. For example, Hifiman 400 SE costs $110 in USA at USA, and in this promotion, using their coupon and even paying the taxes for USA, Hifiman 400 SE is going to cost $46 and only $42 if they hadn't had taxes. So it's an amazing price. For me, 400 SE competes with $300, $200 headphones very well. It's a very powerful planar magnetic with a ton of resolution. The sound stage is just gigantic. The detail retrieval, the speed at the treble, the speed at the bass. You just gotta take care with the amplification. Is considerably difficult to drive headphone, but if you have the amplification, this is one of, if not the best deal in the audio world right now. And for example, between a Hifiman 400 SE and a Sennheiser HD600, I think 400 SE is the better headphone. It has better resolution, it has better soundstage, it has better speed, and it costs right now 6-7 times less. So I think this is the best deal that you can get on the AliExpress sales, even considering IM's amplification, but just take care that you need some amplification. Now, if you're looking for a closeback, Fiio FT1 is costing $140 for the US market, which is a very interesting price. I think in their Amazon website it's costing $150 already in USA, so maybe for Americans this isn't the best deal in the world, but for all other countries, at least here in Brazil for example, this is one of the best deals that you can get, because this headphone is a beast, and I think Fiio FT1 is the best closed back under $200 right now. It has a very luxurious build with the wood. I had the brown wood right here instead of the black. It's such a gorgeous headphone, very comfortable too. And the overall sound signature is interesting because a lot of closed back headphones have a lot of trouble in the timbre category, in my opinion. First of all, the bass can get very bloated, and this doesn't happen with FT1, and sometimes the vocals can sound very thin and nasal because of discoloration of the cups, and this doesn't happen with FT1 too. So for the price, I think it's the best headphone that I've heard in the closed back category. It has a sub-bass focused kind of bass, which is very interesting, doesn't bloat the overall sound signature, and has a lot of power. It has very natural and clean mid-range and somewhat energetic treble that doesn't offend you, never. So it has a good detail retrieval, but overall it's a very rounded headphone, and again, in my opinion, the best one that you can get in the under the $200 considering closed backs. Now this guy right here is a very interesting headphone, Sivga Anser, and it doesn't got a lot of praise, I guess, in the community, but I have reviewed it in my main channel, and I think it's such an interesting kind of headphone because First of all, the build quality is amazing, all wood, very comfortable, very lightweight. Coming from Sivga, I wasn't expecting nothing less than this. But the sound signature is what grabbed my attention the most, because first of all, in the technical department, it is a very good headphone, very good dynamic open back. It can go very low to the sub bass, and it has a lot of detail retrieval, but the overall tonality of this headphone is very different because it doesn't follow a natural and neutral kind of sound signature that a lot of headphones are trying to follow in this price range. It goes for a more energetic and vivid kind of sound signature, more contrasted, with a lot of mid bass and sub bass, which is interesting. It has such a powerful, clean and dynamic bass. It's such a beautiful bass that can give a very warm and cozy feeling to the sound signature. And the mids have some emphasis too in the upper treble and the lower part of the treble, so it have a lot of detail in front of you. And at least with me, it doesn't sound aggressive in any moment, just contrasted and vivid all the time. So it was a joy to review and listen this headphone. It's a very interesting headphone, and I recommend to anyone looking for a less traditional kind of sound signature, something more energetic and more vivid. A very interesting headphone. And here we have Fiio FT1 PRO. Sadly, I didn't hear this one yet, but the feedback that I have is that it sounds almost like a Hifiman XS, but it's more comfortable and has less treble, so it's not maybe as detailed or open as a Hifiman XS, but it's more smooth, so you gotta choose, because Hifiman XS is also heavily discounted. But I have some gripes with Hifiman XS, to be more specific with the comfort. I think that headband is very uncomfortable, and I think Fiio FT1 PRO, looking at the photos and looking at the reviews, is going to be a more comfortable headphone. So maybe it's a better option because it's cheaper too. It's costing $191 for the USA right now, and Hifiman XS $231. So the difference is kind of high, 20-25% in the price, and maybe Fiio FT1 PRO is a better option actually. Now, this is one of the best options in my opinion. It costs $300 in the US market, and it's going for $226. AUNE R5000 is such an amazing headphone. I've reviewed it in my main channel, and in my opinion, it follows a Sennheiser-ish kind of sound signature, which is interesting. It reminds me a lot of Sennheiser HD650 to be more specific, because it has a warmer, cozier and thicker kind of sound signature. But in my opinion, again, AUNE is a better headphone, because Sennheiser HD600 and 650 have some problems. First of all, the bass doesn't got a lot of extension, and AUNE has more extension, so it's a better bass sound signature in my opinion. This is the first flaw that this headphone corrects for me, comparing with the Sennheisers, and it has more extension up on the treble too. So the soundstage, for example, is bigger, and this is a gripe that I have with Sennheiser HD650. It's a very intimate headphone, and I think AUNE goes for a more wider soundstage and deeper bass profile that to me is more appealing, and it costs way less. Now here we have Hifiman XS, heavily, but man, heavily discounted. It launched for $500 or $600 back then, and it's an amazing headphone. It sounds almost like a Hifiman NANO to my ears, but it's a tad less comfortable and has a tad more sub bass, which is interesting. And it costs $231 right now, so it's one of the better deals in the audio market right now, alongside with Hifiman ARYA and 400 SE in my opinion. And man, Edition XS go for a very Hifiman-ish kind of sound signature with a ton of technical aspects. The soundstage is just gigantic. The detail retrieval, the speed of the bass and the treble, so it's a detail monster, a very analytical, leaning towards the colder sound signature that a lot of people love. So if you're a fan of detail retrieval, soundstage, this kind of stuff, this probably is the best headphone in the price point, a very interesting option and heavily discounted. Just take care that it needs a lot of amplification too, it needs a lot of power to actually shine, and without power it's going to sound very lean, without a lot of bass and without a lot of extension, so it needs power to shine. Talking about power, we have a Hifiman NANO, which is a easier to drive headphone, and it's costing $332, $100 more, and this go for an even more technical sound signature with more bass and more treble too, so it's a more energetic sound signature while being more technical. And the interesting thing about the Nano is that it costs $420 in the US market, so it's heavily discounted in China right now, and it's way more comfortable than Hifiman XS because of this headband. This kind of strap right here, it's way more comfortable, so you pay more, but in the long use I think it's a better deal, and the Nano is a very good option too. Now the last one, in my opinion, talking about higher end stuff, this is the best deal in the market, under $100. I think this is the best headphone that you can buy, Hifiman ARYA. Again, it follows that Hifiman sound signature with a lot of extension on the treble and on the sub bass, so it sounds fuller and more natural than XS and Hifiman 400 SE to my ears, with a lot of steroids on the technical aspects. The soundstage is one of the biggest that I've heard so far. It can even come closer to a Sennheiser HD 800 soundstage, for example, so it's an enormous soundstage with vertical capacities too. You can hear something up here and down below, which are just a few headphones can do it, maybe because of the size of the cups and the planar driver, it can do it. And man, the overall resolution of this headphone is just beyond everything that I've heard so far under $1,000. So if you're looking for a planar, a more technical sound signature, this is going to be my overall best advice. It is costing $500 with coins and with coupons right now, so an amazing deal in my opinion. And these are the headphones that I would personally recommend you right now at the sales. We are going to have an IEM video and amplification video too, so I see you guys in the future. Hope you have enjoyed. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I see you guys there. See ya!